passe, s'il vous plaît. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Cormier, you have a comment about what just happened?
I had a heart-to-heart with Mr. Cormier, and I think we found common ground.
What's the common ground?
Well, I'm kidding around. We don't have common. I don't know what is these. Yesterday, I think the independent journalists were a little bit too independent, and the regime journalists are too friendly with the regime. And I've seen a full court press by regime journalists over the last 24 hours to bring in limits to what independent journalists can do.
You mean third-party advertisers, Ezra? Can you talk about the $180,000 you're spending to do advertising, voter contact, both through For Canada and into Rebel News Network Limited?
See, you're wrong on that, and that's what concerns me, is that For Canada is a different group that was registered.
It's paid $170,000 to Rebel News Network Limited. Is that not true?
You're getting your facts wrong, Justin, and I want to make sure you're careful. We were actually talking about the CBC, who want us out of here. The CBC want us kicked out. We're not leaving. The CBC were outraged that Mr. Cormier let us in. The CBC had 4 questions yesterday. Rebel News had 4 questions yesterday. The CBC thinks that's normal, and it's abnormal that we do it.
So was he talking to you about your accreditation asking questions, or was it about the incident here right now this earlier?
It was about neither. It was actually about, what's his name, the bald guy in the CBC?
Maybe talk.
Cochrane. Yeah, I mean, Cochrane wanted me kicked out. I ain't leaving. Cochrane's really thin-skinned. I talked to Rosemary Martin too. I invited her to a challenge, and she declined. But that had nothing to do with it. Anyways, I want to get back to the journalism here, but it's a pleasure to be in the center of the attention. I want to give a shout out to my fellow independent journalist, Kean Bexley, proud alumnus of Rebel News. Ailey's not associated with us, but I admire his independence. And I would like to encourage everyone who's watching. You can be a journalist. If you've got a phone, you're a journalist. If you've got a Facebook page, you're a journalist. Yes, it is, Judy. In fact,
independent journalists hire truck and fundraise off of.
I don't know. You're a government journalist. Every single one of you.
No. No. I'm not government journalist.
If you get the government subsidy, you're a government journalist.
I'm not a government journalist.
Who do you work for, sir?
I work for the Canadian Press.
Canadian Press gets massive grants from the government.
No, we don't get it. It's an administration funding.
I mean, you're literally wearing a liberal lanyard.
Because I follow the liberals, you know how it works.
So you're independent, you're owned by the government.
Okay, you like to pay the
May I
government.
ask
You're
you
just
about
making it as a big
What do
thing.
you think about the third-party advertisers that are
So
supporting the
only
CBC?
your own media can ask you questions. All right.
Come and do run away.
Why don't you answer his question?
What was his question? I actually didn't hear the question. I'm flattered to be here. Let me just say this. I think that journalism needs to be democratized. And I think it's sort of creepy that the enemies of Rebel News in the press gallery stop us from asking questions of politicians 99% of the time. Once every 4 years, we're allowed to put a couple of questions to these high priests of politics, and there's a total freak out in the press gallery. Like seriously, it's like leap year. 15 minutes every 4-year season, we're allowed.
Can you move your scrum now? We want to watch the start of the debate. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you. What's that?